Loneliness in old age is one of the quietest yet most powerful emotional battles many people face. As time moves on and the hustle of younger years slows, the familiar rhythms of life often shift. Children grow up and move away, friends move on or pass away, and the routines that once brought us a sense of belonging can gradually fade. What's left is often an unexpected silence, a quiet house, an empty chair at the table, or long afternoons that stretch without conversation. This isn't just about physical isolation. Loneliness is more than being alone. It's about feeling unseen, unheard, and disconnected from the rhythm of the world around us. But this is not the end of the story. Loneliness, though it may feel like a shadow that creeps in unnoticed, is not unbeatable. It can be softened, understood, and even transformed into something meaningful. In fact, these quieter years of life offer a unique opportunity to reshape how we connect with others and ourselves. They allow us to reflect, redefine our sense of purpose, and re-enter the world in new, surprising ways. The first way to overcome loneliness in old age is by rebuilding meaningful connections. These aren't just surface-level conversations or casual greetings. They are the deep, soul-touching relationships that bring warmth to our days. This might mean rekindling old friendships. Think about someone you haven't spoken to in years, perhaps a childhood friend, a cousin, or an old neighbor. Chances are they may be feeling the same void and would welcome your call. A simple message or phone call can open the door to renewed companionship. Relationships like these are rooted in shared memories, making the connection easier to rebuild and the bond deeper to sustain. But rebuilding doesn't always mean looking back. Sometimes it's about starting fresh. Making new connections might feel intimidating at first, especially when you're older and the settings for meeting people are fewer. But the key is consistency and openness. Whether it's speaking to someone in the park, joining a class, or just saying hello to the person at the local shop, every small moment of contact can be the seed of something more. One genuine conversation can open the door to many more. Don't underestimate the power of a simple, "How are you today?" It might just be the start of something real. Another powerful way to ease loneliness is through joining community groups or activities. These aren't just spaces to pass time. They are pockets of belonging. Whether it's a local seniors group, a community gardening club, a book circle, or a hobby-based gathering, such groups offer structure and a sense of shared purpose. More importantly, they provide regularity, a reason to look forward to certain days, a place where your absence is noticed and your presence is valued. The predictability of these meetups builds comfort, while the interactions offer a steady supply of new stories, laughter, and understanding. Sometimes, it may take visiting a few different groups before finding one that feels right. That's perfectly okay. The goal isn't to fit in instantly, but to keep showing up. Over time, faces become familiar, conversations grow easier, and bonds begin to form. What starts as a room full of strangers gradually becomes a circle of friends. But what if you're someone who's introverted? Someone who finds large groups draining rather than fulfilling? There's still a place for you. Community doesn't have to be loud and bustling. It can be as simple as a weekly visit to a library, a quiet reading group, or a small faith gathering. What matters is the sense of connection, of being seen and accepted, not the volume of activity. As important as external connection is, there's another dimension that's often overlooked: learning to embrace solitude in healthy ways. Being alone is not the same as being lonely. Solitude, when approached mindfully, can become a wellspring of creativity, reflection, and peace. Many great artists, writers, and thinkers have spoken of the deep clarity they found in stillness. For older adults, this solitude can offer the space to reconnect with passions that were once put aside: painting, writing, music, journaling, or simply the quiet joy of tending to a garden. This inner world becomes a sanctuary, a space where one's worth is not measured by social activity, but by personal fulfillment. It's in these moments of quiet that we often hear the softest truths, the ones about what still brings us joy, what dreams remain, and what kind of legacy we wish to leave. Embracing solitude means understanding that your own company is valuable, your thoughts matter, and your time is a gift. Alongside this is the importance of staying physically and mentally active. Our bodies and minds are deeply connected, and activity in one naturally fuels the other. Simple daily routines like a morning walk, stretching, or light exercises not only keep the body healthy, but also provide a sense of accomplishment. Even more, they often open the door to unplanned social interactions. A familiar face on a walking route, a smile exchanged with a passerby, or a chance conversation that breaks up the silence of the day. Mental activity is equally vital. Reading books, solving puzzles, learning something new online, or even practicing a new language can sharpen the mind and offer a sense of progress. Lifelong learning fosters curiosity, and curiosity is one of the most powerful antidotes to loneliness. When the mind is engaged, it becomes easier to feel a connection to the broader world, to feel part of the ongoing conversation of life. Let's pause here and recognize a truth. Overcoming loneliness is not about pretending sadness doesn't exist. It's about acknowledging it with honesty and tenderness, and then gently moving forward, one small action at a time. You're not trying to erase the emptiness, but to fill it with new meaning. One encounter, one habit, one reflection at a time. Overcoming loneliness in old age is not an overnight change, but a quiet, steady journey back into connection, purpose, and self-understanding. And sometimes that journey leads to something we don't often talk about, but deeply need: a renewed sense of purpose. This is the fifth and perhaps most transformative way to overcome loneliness, not by filling time with distractions, but by giving our time meaning. Purpose doesn't have to be grand or world-changing. It can be deeply personal and beautifully small. For some, it might be taking care of a pet. For others, it's volunteering once a week, mentoring someone younger, or offering life experience in a way that helps others navigate their own paths. Purpose could be starting a small garden that feeds not only your soul, but perhaps even neighbors or local food banks. It might be writing down your life stories for your grandchildren, preserving your history for generations to come. Whatever it is, purpose gives your days shape. It reminds you that you still have something to offer, that your voice still matters, your actions still count. One of the most powerful things about purpose is that it shifts the focus away from what's missing and toward what can be created. It reframes your role from being someone left behind to someone moving forward, contributing, building, even if it's just in a quiet, personal way. Loneliness often feeds on feelings of uselessness, but purpose is the antidote. It says, you're still part of something. You still belong. As you begin to reconnect with others, with community, with yourself, and with purpose, it's also important to recognize the emotional weight you might be carrying. Grief, regret, or a lingering sense of loss are natural companions to aging. But part of overcoming loneliness is also learning to let go, gently, over time, of the stories that keep you stuck. This is where practices like journaling, meditation, prayer, or speaking with a therapist or counselor can be deeply healing. These aren't signs of weakness. They're tools of self-respect. They say, "My inner life matters. My feelings are valid. I'm worthy of support." Sometimes, talking to someone who simply listens, really listens, can lift years of emotional weight off your shoulders. Professional support can help you untangle the more complex feelings that loneliness wraps around your heart. And in doing so, you create more room inside yourself for new connections to grow. And let's not forget the role of technology. While it may seem intimidating at first, technology can be a bridge to people and opportunities that were once out of reach. Whether it's video calls with family, joining online groups, or simply watching content that makes you feel seen and understood, the digital world offers its own kind of community. Learning how to navigate a smartphone or tablet can open doors, perhaps not to physical places, but to emotional ones. You might find yourself enjoying virtual book clubs, online religious services, or even video games that connect people across the globe. The key is to use technology not just as entertainment, but as connection. A quick message, a comment on a shared photo, or a live conversation through a screen can make you feel just as close to someone as sitting beside them. Now, none of this is to say the feelings of loneliness will vanish completely. There will be quiet days, days when memories hurt, days when the phone doesn't ring. But you are not powerless. With intention, effort, and a little patience, your world can expand again. There are still conversations to be had, friendships to form, beauty to notice, and joy to experience. It's also important to give yourself credit. If you've taken even one step, made a call, attended a meeting, reached out to a neighbor, you're already in motion. Change begins with small, courageous acts. And if you haven't taken that first step yet, know this: it's never too late. Not ever. Every new day brings a new chance to do things differently. You have wisdom, life experience, a sense of humor that's been sharpened by the years. You have insight that others need, stories that deserve to be told, and laughter that can still echo through rooms. You are not invisible. You are not finished. The world still needs your light. And in the moments when you feel alone, remind yourself, somewhere, someone else is feeling the same way. Maybe your reaching out is the moment they've been waiting for, too. Loneliness may feel like an end, but in truth, it's often just a pause before a new beginning. So start small, rebuild connections, join something that brings you into shared space, embrace the quiet with creativity, move your body, stimulate your mind, and lean into your purpose. And when it gets hard, and sometimes it will, hold on to this truth. You are not alone in your loneliness, and you don't have to stay there. The road back to connection doesn't need to be walked all at once. Just one step at a time, one kind word at a time, one open door, one fresh morning, one warm conversation at a time. Because your life is still unfolding, there is still more to see, more to feel, and more to give. And in that, there is hope. Always, there is hope.